Welcome back to Positively Port St. Lucie. I'm Sarah Prohaska, Communications Manager at the City of Port St. Lucie. Right now, I'm joined again with Whitney Frazier, also from our Communications Department. And we are here to talk with Christina Daigle of our Public Works Department about an important event that is coming up in June that we know residents look forward to every year. Christina, hi, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here and to really just brief our residents on the annual Hurricane Preparedness Expo. It's going to be on the 2nd of June, so we try to have that at the very beginning of hurricane season every single year and just really prep our residents for the 2018 hurricane season. Exactly. So I just really wanted to share that today with you and with the residents.
And this expo has been, I know it's something people look forward to every year here in Port St. Lucie. Do you know off the top of your head how many years we've done this?
This is our 12th annual.
12th, okay, wow. So that is over a decade we've been doing these, and it's really good information at the very beginning of hurricane season for our residents.
Yep, absolutely. Having it for the past couple of years, doing it myself, I know that we're right around 1,500 residents coming out on average, and I think that really just spiked after we had Hurricane Matthew and Hurricane Irma, and residents who have lived here and maybe really just maybe fell into that complacency and they just haven't had a hurricane hit for a while, or residents who are new to Florida and say, gosh, I really just don't know what to do.
Good resources right here.
Yep, and I think that's the best way to put it. The resources that are going to be out are our best and brightest. So the businesses that are out there and a lot of the other exhibitors are really, honestly, I think some of the best in the business. They know what they're doing. There are emergency services providers that do it year-round, and I would consider it a one-stop shop where you can come out and you can really learn everything that you're looking for, and in addition to that, you can also prepare your home and your family at the same time.
Exactly, and it's at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center.
Yep, so it's going to be on Saturday, June 2nd at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
So mark your calendars now, even though it's a little early, but still, it's not really. It's only about a month away.
Yeah, it's already less than 2 months away, and I know that residents love to be prepared for events, but let's also prepare our homes and make sure that we're not cutting shrubs and cutting trees when we have a named storm out there, because that is when our solid waste hauler Waste Pro is not supposed to be running around and picking up when we have that named storm. So we want to make sure that we're preparing now, and this event is a great way to do it. But if you can start preparing now beforehand for that as well, that would be fantastic. So what would preparedness be? Preparedness is getting your home ready, getting your family ready, making sure that you have plans in place if you need a special needs shelter, if your kids need to go somewhere, if you have pets. All of these things are great things to think about, and the City of Port St. Lucie's website also has an emergency readiness page, and on that page you can see a nice hurricane guide. And that hurricane guide really gives you a checklist of this is what I should do. And let's see if we can get residents to do that before hurricane season this year.
And right now is the perfect time to trim your trees and get all of that done, get it to the curb so it's taken away before June 1st, because we don't want those tree limbs blowing around. That's the last thing you want to have to deal with when you're trying to put your shutters up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's actually another key point is most people keep their shutters in their garage, and they can't get to their shutters unless they clean out their garage. Or if they say, hey, I really want to put my car in the garage to keep it safe, let's clear our garage out. The time to do that is now. If you need space, now's the time to get rid of your garbage, to get rid of your waste, to get rid of your vegetative debris, and make sure that your yard is ready, because the last thing you need to be doing before hurricane season is cleaning your house and cleaning your yard when you should be prepping your home.
Exactly. And
so what type of businesses and exhibitors usually go to the Hurricane Expo? Like, they're there, and obviously we need their help to prepare, so do you have a list of them already? Or
what we're doing right now, I would say that typically we have about 60 different exhibitors or vendors who come out. Now, as of last week, we opened that registration for our sponsors and for our exhibitors. So that's something that is still available and open. To answer your question, I think that we really can kind of gauge anywhere from having animal control out to having someone who would sell shutters, to pool screen repair companies, electric companies that know how to do a whole home generator or a small generator, And then we have a lot of our governmental and nonprofit agencies that come out too. American Red Cross, St. Lucie County. We mentioned earlier the special needs shelter. That's a big one, so they'll have registration there if you yourself or if you have family members who need to register for that ahead of time. So all kinds of information is available, and we really just want to push as much as we possibly can out to the residents, because I really think that as a unit, the city really can recover the best if we do it together. So if our residents aren't prepared, our city unit as a whole won't be able to recover quite as quickly.
Mm-hmm. So the expo is like a good starting point for actually preparing.
It's technically hurricane season, and I would love to maybe do it a few months beforehand, but try getting people to come out before hurricane season is kind of difficult sometimes. So yes, I would say that if you can prepare now, and if you want to check out the city's website, there's definitely ways to start preparing now, like we mentioned before, with trimming trees and cleaning out your garage if you want to push your car in there, things like that. But the expo is a great place to go. So last year, for example, we had residents come out that said, hey, I really think that we're prepared, but each year we try to get a little bit better. This year we're able to afford shutters. Last year we bought a generator. So every single time we have residents come out, they try and get better and better. And unfortunately, we don't know when, but we do know we will get hit again with a hurricane.
Yeah.
We live in Florida.
Yeah, and we've been through it 2 years in a row now, so it is, like you said, it's fresh in people's minds, so hopefully that will get them motivated.
Yeah, we had a lot of people come out last year. This year we're actually going to be, I've been doing the expo for I think 3 years now, and I haven't done raffles before. We're going to go ahead and do a small raffle this year
great.
we're looking at doing some hurricane supply kits for a residential home. We might do 1 or 2 of those. And then in addition to that, I'm hoping to try and raffle off potentially a generator. So we're looking at doing things like that to really bring more residents out. We always have the T-shirts every single year.
Yeah.
Residents love them.
They do. They look forward to those T-shirts.
They do. I 2 years ago, I had a resident come up to me, and they were wearing an Expo shirt before I even started working with the city. So they really they come out and they try to get the T-shirts. But what I love about it is they're not there just for the shirts. They're not there just for the raffle prizes. They are there to gain as much information as possible. And another way to do that, in addition to going around to each of the exhibitor booths, is to really listen to the presentations.
I was going to ask about your speakers. You have some really great ones this year. Who do you have?
So we don't have them 100% lined up, but in the past, typically what we have done is we've had partnerships with news channels and meteorologists, which is great. The National Weather Service. I almost said Scott Spratt. He's a fantastic partner. He's on vacation, I think.
Oh, no.
So we are going to have another great meteorologist this year from National Weather Service. So they're going to be coming out and giving a presentation. I know sometimes we have, like I said, some of the weather channels, so we're still trying to firm that up. In the past, we've had American Red Cross. And last year, I really liked what we did with Waste Pro, who is our title sponsor again this year. Fantastic partnership.
Okay.
We kind of teamed emergency management with Waste Pro last year just because we work well together. They're out there working so hard before and after for us. So we'll be doing a presentation again this year for post-storm and recovery, and really just focusing on, okay, preparedness isn't just before a storm, it's also after a storm. How to be,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say that's a big part of it after getting cleaned up and making sure your debris is sorted correctly. Big part.
Yep, and I'm glad that you mentioned that too. I know that we're talking specifically about hurricane season and the Hurricane Preparedness Expo, but I think we've been really, really fortunate the past 2 storms, Hurricane Matthew and just this past year, Hurricane Irma, and really only having vegetative debris. If you can imagine just some of the other cities just completely getting devastated, they just got pummeled. Yeah, and they don't have vegetative debris only. They have what's known as white goods. So all of the appliances in your home that come out because they just got soaked. You had water intrusion, whatever the reason is. So now we also have construction and demolition. Your roof came off, your windows are broken. So there's all different ways that we need to look into recovery and pulling debris from residential areas afterwards. And that can be something just as simple as residents knowing that we need to separate our piles.
Yeah.
We can't combine our vegetation with our white goods and with our construction and demolition. So that's all going to be talked at this year as well.
Oh, perfect. And I know Congressman Mast
Yes, thank
has
you.
confirmed he's going to be there, correct?
In addition to Congressman Mast coming out, He also, I believe, is bringing Small Business Association. FEMA's coming out. I think
perfect.
he's got a couple more lined up, which is great. And I think the overall idea behind the different entities that he's bringing out and the different agencies is these are all the agencies that are on board for recovery. Let's bring them all. And I think that's fantastic.
That is great. All, and like you said, one-stop shop. You can get all of this information one day, one afternoon. Just come out and get your free T-shirt.
Yeah, free T-shirt.
Collect them all.
It's a set. Collect them all.
Yes.
Yes, there's going to be some great raffles this year, but we really do focus on that educational component, like you said. So all kinds of fantastic raffles, all kinds of vendors that are out there that, like I said before, they're just really the best and the brightest in the business. They are the experts. We know from a local government standpoint how we need to prepare and recover, but these businesses really have a key knowledge on how residential neighborhoods, communities, and then individual homes can be supported and helped with things that the city can't offer as far as services or products.
So there's still time and space for businesses and sponsors to come forward and actually be a part of the expo, right?
Yep, we have a few sponsorships left right now. So last week we started that. The sponsorships typically fill up pretty quick, and sometimes the exhibitors like to wait within a week or two. But this year we are making sure to do a cutoff just because last year we actually filled up. And then in addition to that, I think that we're going to have a lot more residents come out this year than we have in the past. One, because we're having more storms every single year, and I think that in our expansion of the expo, which we're trying to add additional courses this year, which I'll mention in a minute. I think that the vendors are going to have a little bit more room, and my hope is that we have some really, really great vendors out there. So there are some sponsorship opportunities left, and definitely we want to encourage the exhibitors to sign up as soon as possible, just because those are going to start filling up a little bit faster this year compared to years past.
All right, well, we are almost out of time, so did we want to mention Scott Spratt's class really quickly?
So the National Weather Service is going to offer the Skywarn class from 9 to 11, and that's something that will need to be registered for ahead of time. Basically, Skywarn is a great course for residents who are interested in weather and who feel that they have enough of a knowledge and enough confidence after going through this course and receiving this certification to notify the National Weather Service of some severe weather that may be coming. They're really just that key eyes on the ground that helps the National Weather Service to push that notification out, say, hey, listen, I just saw a tornado, I'm 100%, my spotter number is blank, and I can tell you it was located right here, and then the National Weather Service knows that that's a trained spotter, and they can push that information out and warn residents even faster.
That's perfect. All right, and that's free, right?
Yep.
But you do have to register in advance. And the information, I'm sure, will be on our city's website.
Yep, we'll have that all on there. And again, the City of Port St. Lucie's 12th Annual Hurricane Preparedness Expo is going to be Saturday, June 2nd. It's at the Port St. Lucie Civic Center, and it's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
All right, perfect. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Winnie. We're fast running out of time, but thank you so much for coming on and giving us this information. And thank you, Whitney, for joining me again. And I really appreciate both of your input. And I want to thank all of my guests today on Positively Port St. Lucie. Thanks.